There are monsters in the Bible. Not metaphorical monsters, not this king was kind of a jerk monsters. I'm talking about genetic abominations, born from heaven and earth, colliding in exactly the wrong way. Giants, warriors, men of renown, the Nephilim. And what makes this worse, far worse, is that the Bible mentions them casually, like we should already know what they are. So tonight, we're opening the file. We're going to take a deeper look into the Nephilim. Genesis 6, 1 through 4. The verse pastors will read and quickly move on from. The sons of God saw that the daughters of man were beautiful. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days. And that phrase, son of God, is critical. In those days, it didn't refer to human kings or the Messiah, Jesus Christ. It meant divine beings, angelic figures. The Nephilim are the result of rebellion, not just sin, cosmic insurrection. It was angelic watchers stepping outside their role, and human women caught in the middle. And it resulted in something else being born. The Bible doesn't linger on this, but the ancient Jews did. This is where the Book of Enoch comes in. The Book of Enoch is not canon. It's not scripture, but many scholars believe it's extremely important to understanding what the ancient Jews thought Genesis meant. The Book of Enoch describes watchers descending to earth, teaching forbidden knowledge, weapons, astrology, and sorcery. And the offspring they had with human women were violent, gigantic, cannibalistic, and uncontrollable. According to the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim corrupted the earth so badly that the flood wasn't punishment, it was containment. And here's the part that people miss. After they died, their spirits didn't go to heaven or hell. They became wandering entities. And yeah, that's where many believe demonology starts. So, didn't the flood wipe them out? I mean, yeah, mostly, but scripture continues to mention giants after Noah. We have the Anakim, the Raphaim, Og of Bashan, and yes, Goliath. Deuteronomy straight up describes Og's bed as 13 feet long. And the Bible treats these giants as real military threats, not just fairy tales. And that's going to lead us into something modern, current, something uncomfortable. Now, I don't know if you saw this, but in the last week or so, the New York Post put out an article saying that a 3,300-year-old Egyptian papyrus has recently been uncovered that lends some credence to the Nephilim extra-biblically. Now, we have to slow down. This isn't definitive proof of the Nephilim. A lot of people have different interpretations. Somebody I find credible, Wes Huff, believes that these could be training documents for scribes at the time, and serve a variety of other purposes. And we know that ancient Egypt loved symbolic language. But what's interesting is this. Egyptian texts refer to giant hostile beings born of divine rebellion, wiped out by catastrophic judgment. It's a different culture, but it's the same idea. At minimum, it suggests a shared ancient memory of something that we should be terrified of. And that's going to bring us to Afghanistan. The Kandahar giant is a modern military legend. According to multiple retellings, a U.S. patrol encountered a 12-foot humanoid monster. It had red hair, 6 fingers, killed a guy, and it took concentrated fire to bring down. So we need to go through some things. Is it verified? No. Is it officially documented? No. Is it eerily consistent across accounts? Yeah. I mean, at best, it's folklore. At worst, it's something ancient that never fully went away. Alright, so the following advice is hypothetical. I'm not advocating real-world violence unless you actually happen to come across one of these monsters, in which case you should probably defend yourself with some serious violence. Oh, and also no, the flood is not an option because we aren't God. So what do we know about the threat that they pose? The Nephilim are physically resilient. They're likely biologically abnormal. I can't imagine that they're biologically normal being, half angel. So that's going to be a pretty significant problem. And they're possibly spiritually reinforced. because demons. So if you find yourself in this situation, you're probably looking at being extraordinarily outmatched. So what would you actually need to stop one of these things? And once again, your chances are not high. But if it were up to me, for as far as weapons, platforms go, you're going to need some pretty big stuff. I personally would go for an M2 Browning, because what's better than one 50 BMG out of a Barrett? A lot of 50 BMG out of a machine gun. If you're looking at smaller arms, 308's probably a pretty darn good idea. Anything out of an AK or AR platform would probably be effective. It's just going to take a lot more of them, you'd imagine. Like I said, we have no idea how strong these things are, so if you can pack some more punch, it's probably going to be better for you. Other than that, I guess you've got grenades and other explosive traps, and C4, landmines, I guess. You could just hope that they step on one, and then once they're dead, you are supposed to burn the remains. And here's the thing. Yes, David used a rock and a sling, but God already decided that Goliath was going to lose, so David had that going for him. Whether you see them as literal giants, hybrid beings, or ancient memory fossilized into story, the Bible treats them as real, dangerous, and defeated. And that's what I believe. And they are not often defeated by man, but they are all defeated by God. Thank you for watching Dead Range. We just dove into the history and the possible modern implications of the Nephilim. So like, subscribe, and pray that you never meet one.